friend. Hello Instagram, hello LinkedIn, hello Facebook. I would like to open by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which I am presenting to you from today. I'm on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia, and I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. The traditional custodians of this region are the Bundjalung people of the Yugambeh language region, and I recognise their ongoing commitment to land, waterways and skies. So it's funny, there's two of me, which is really interesting, but I'm going to try and, I'm holding my phone. Hi Sam, how are you? Say hi if you're jumping on, and obviously if you're watching the replay later, you can always comment below. So I'll just show you, hello Natasha, I'll just show you where I am. I might do is turn around at the computer in a second too, so you can probably see the reflection. Very lovely place to spend my Friday. I was meant to come here in the morning, I got here in the afternoon, so there we go. This is where I am. Oh, that's my head. There we go. I am in Paradise Point, just getting some vibes, nice vibes. So what I'm talking about today is understanding your target market. Ideal client, target market, whatever you would like to say. Hi Alison, say hi in the comments, introduce yourself, we love that. So we're going to talk about module 4 of the How to Live and Love Your Brand course. If you didn't know already, you haven't seen me 1,000 million times this week because the algorithm, I am in launch week. It is day 4 of 8, launching the How to Live and Love Your Brand course. And the doors are open from the 8th to the 15th of November. So doors close at 6 p.m. on the 15th of November. So if you are feeling a bit lost or unsure and disconnected, you're a woman who is in a leadership role, entrepreneurial role, business, wanting to get into more of a leadership role, wanting to start a business, this is the time to work on your personal brand. And that's what the How to Live and Love Your Brand course does. Your personal brand is you. It's learning to love you, to share you, to understand how to clearly communicate who you are so you can attract the business and the life that you want. That's what I'm working on. So, understanding your target market. This is module 4, and I'm just going to jump on in. So in this way, I do it a little bit differently probably to the way that you might have seen target market and ideal client work done before. So essentially what we're trying to do here is work out who we want to be working with and how we want to be working with them. And so the way that I start with that is looking at your past work experience. And I don't know if people do this very often, but for me, I think some of the best work experiences I've ever had, it's not necessarily been the place that I've worked, it's been the people that I've worked with at that time. You would hope that people have the right skills and qualifications and experience to be doing the role that they're doing. And so, it's good to work with them in that respect, but it's more about the person that they are and the culture that's created because of that. And so what I get people to do in this module is first we look at your work experience. So let's look at the past things that you've done, like really dig out all the work you've ever done. And let's look at what you enjoyed and what you didn't enjoy. Because obviously we want more of what you enjoyed and less of what you didn't enjoy. And when I dig into this as well, it's not just like the work that you did, again, it's how you worked. So maybe you liked the amount of time you were working, or the place you were working in, or the people you're working with, or maybe when you think about it, actually it was at that time in my life, I was really, I was really healthy, I was going for walks a lot, I was living near the beach. That's why I was loving that work so much. So maybe it's about getting more beach into my life, That's what we look into with that work experience. Then we talk about who is your audience. And now obviously this can be a big thing when you're talking about ideal client or target market. So with personal brand, I really feel like the more that you are you're going to attract the people that you like and enjoy spending time with. And so it's about us. And sometimes actually our audience is us. It's us. Like I know the people that I'm working with are probably me a few years ago. They're unclear on their message. They're doing all the things. They're trying to say all the things. They're amazing at what they do, but they're not really telling people how amazing they are. They're not really owning their expertise and owning that they're an expert and calling themselves an expert. And one of my gorgeous clients from members of the How to Live and Love Your Brand course last year said, your mess is your message. And that has just stuck with me. I put it on a post-its on the world. Your mess is your message. So let's look at us and look at what we've gone through, because we actually might find that we are the ideal client, which is our ideal client 2 or 3 years ago. So looking back at our own past experience, but you might also have someone that is in mind for your ideal client. And what I want to say about target market and ideal client is, it's like, like a bullseye. Think about a bullseye. The ideal client is the bullseye. It's the little red circle in the middle. But you still get points for when you hit around there. We just don't want to hit off the board. We don't want to be hitting the wall over there. We want to be hitting on the target, but we have to talk to that bullseye. We have to talk to the ideal client, because then the outer circles will still hear our message. So I think, and I used to have this too, the problem of when you niche down, you think, if I niche down, then I'm going to lose all these people. I don't get to work with all these people and I miss out. But the thing is, I still get to work with people who weren't necessarily the person that I was trying to talk to. In my messaging, I'm talking about female leaders, I'm talking about women who are entrepreneurs or business owners or in leadership roles. Some women wouldn't see themselves as that, or they might be like, oh, actually, I'm a manager, but maybe one day I want to be a CEO. So then, hey, Rach, they would actually then go, well, yeah, I'm not there yet, but I'd like to be, so then maybe this program's for me, or I do talk more probably about business brand and personal brand. So people think that I only work with people in business, but often I'm working with women who also have something on the side, they have a small business, or they're looking to move from the corporate or from an employment situation to a working for themselves. So they need to go through this process. And Sam, who jumped on earlier, she was in that position. I know, Rach, you've gone through that as well. There are people who are coming to me through that. So they might not see at the time that they're a business owner, but they can still see, oh, that applies to me, or I still feel that way. And so when we're talking to our audience, we want to make sure we're trying to talk to someone. And so I try to think of a past client that I've worked with, and I'll think of my Leisha or my Leslie or my Sam or my Amanda, or and I'll think, what did they need? Why did they come to me? Or my Megan, and you're talking to that person. You're really talking to that person. And so that's why, again, when we look at that work experience, who did you love working with? What type of work environment did you love? And that's how novelists, I know I've heard Leanne Moriarty talking about it, her characters aren't based on one person, but they are based on potentially a collection of people. They're inspired by people. So you might actually, your ideal audience might be a collection of 3 people that you actually know. And it's got those characteristics of those people. I just find that the typical way of doing target market and ideal client really didn't work for me. Talking about demographics and location, because I am an online business, I am a coach, I work with people all over the world, and I work, in this format. So geographical information wasn't really helpful for me. I have clients who are 25, I have clients who are 70, and I love that as well. So finding, demographic on that scale was not really helping me. But when I started to put it into going, okay, let's describe Lisa. I worked with Lisa. What was Lisa like? And when I described her and described for how she was feeling and what she was going through and what she wanted, and then I could go into that other stuff, but it was about what she needed, what she wanted, why she was having challenges. That was oh, well, I can do that. So I hope that this module, target market and ideal client, doing these different exercises as opposed to just going, how old are they? Where do they live? What do they like doing? What are their hobbies? What's their job? That can be really feel limiting in terms of who you're talking to. But if we talk about the type of person that you want to be working with, or the type of situation that person's in, that might be a better way to look at it. So we look at it from different ways and make sure that we understand how to talk to your ideal client in the way that works for you. So we do all that work digging in together. And then our final part of this module, we're sort of talking about understanding your target market or ideal client. It's module 4 of the How to Live and Love Your Brand course. If you want to know what's in the How to Live and Love Your Brand course, please head to the link in bio. King will probably add a link down there and add a link on LinkedIn and Facebook for me. Putting in going and having a look there's 8 modules, and so we go through all of this content in depth. There's lots of exercises, there's videos, there's things you can explore, and then with the live coaching that I'm doing through this round, each week of coaching we'll go through the module and work through these things together, where we can ask questions and dig into it and explore. So a part of this module we're doing is recognising red flags. So that's really talking about who we don't want to work with. And sometimes it's easier to say what you don't want than to say what you do want. And so we're not saying, I don't want to work with men, or I don't want to work with women, or I don't want to work with people who live in the Gold Coast, or things like that. We're saying, I don't want to work with people who won't pay me on time. I don't want to work with people who don't understand my boundaries. I don't want to work with people who challenge every word I say. Or I do want to work with people who are going to challenge me and, motivate me. We get to decide that, and when we put down the things that we don't want and understand what we don't want, and generally, again, that comes from past experience of things that you haven't enjoyed about your working or business operations, you can then go, well, what do I want? And so if you see those red flags, you avoid them. And then we also start to see, well, if I don't want people who don't respect my boundaries, then I want people who respect boundaries, who have their own boundaries themselves. I want people who are proactive, not relying upon me just to tow them along. We get to decide those things. So, and a great book, I'll have to put it into the course. I just listened to the Audible, I'm raving about it, Matthew McConaughey's Green Light. Oh my God, so good. He talks about, I really liked this because, red flags can be quite negative, but it's good to know what we don't want. But green lights are like when something's working, when you're getting something good, when you're feeling like in a good energy, that's a green light. You go forward, you go towards it, you get to move along. Like we think of traffic lights. Red light is stopped, yellow light is like, ooh, and a green light means go. So we go towards the green lights, we look for the green lights, we follow that, and then we get this path of ease and grace in our business and our personal journey. And I really enjoyed that analogy, and now I think of it on like green light. I get someone calling me interested in the retreat, and I'm like, good, green light. Or I get lots of love on a live, and I go, oh, people are enjoying this content, green light, we should talk about this more. So green lights, we go towards the green lights, we avoid the red flags. The final part of this, and it's one of my favourite sections, actually write that, it's about testimonials and referrals. And so going to people that you've worked with, and if you're working in a career, you can do this too. If you're working in corporate, I think people don't do it until they need a job, but you should be seeking out testimonials and referrals all the time. It's something that I see so lacking. Like on LinkedIn, it's so easy to ask for a recommendation. But what often people are doing is they're asking for recommendations, referrals, testimonials based on their skills and their the work that they delivered. I ask for testimonials and referrals based on the person that I am. So what was Emma like? And you'll probably notice this when you read my testimonials. I've done a few posts of these. I'm going to do one this afternoon from Gorgeous Spec Chapel. Like, what is Emma like to work with? Because there are other people doing personal branding. There are other people who can help you with brand and image. There are other people who've done, I also offer copywriting. Like, there are heaps of other copywriters. But why would you pick me over someone else? And that's where those testimonials and referrals can be really helpful, because they speak to your character if you get them in that way. So you're asking people to say, what was it like working with me? And if you can go and get those, sometimes you might struggle to find the words to describe what your clients were going through, or the pains or the pleasures that they or the issues or challenges that they're having. You might not be able to explain it, but then when they give you a testimonial, they'll say, well, I was really struggling with my confidence. I didn't really believe in myself as an expert, but when I worked with Emma and went through her program, I recognised that I was an expert, and now I think of myself as an expert, and I feel far more confident about my offering. So that's what testimonials and referrals can do. They can give you the words around yourself that you might not be able to, and they can, in your clients' and audience's words, they can describe what they need and want. So that's the understanding your target and ideal client modules. So it's all part of the How to Live and Love Your Brand course, which it is day 4 of 8 of launch week. It's been a big week. I'm very excited to say that I've had 2 women join on today, which is fantastic, and I'm going to do celebration posts soon and share who they are. because I love being able to do that. I also did a reel today about the type of women who come into this course. So who are the different people? And there's so many. Hey Jodie, there's such a wide variety of people coming into this course, and getting all different types of experiences. So personal brand is not just about your work or your business or your career. It's also about your life and attracting what you want into your life, and being clear on the person that you are, so that you can attract more. You can do a message, all those things. Comment below if you're watching later. I'll always answer back or write back. And thank you for watching on a Friday. It's 4:20 here. It's 5:20, so I think it's time to switch off. Thank you very much for being with me this week. I know it's been a lot. Love to hear from you. We also have the webinar. If you want to just add that link, we have the webinar, which we've moved to Monday because we had a bit of a hashtag fail the other day. So we're going to do a webinar about writing your bio, if that's something helpful for you. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope to see you on the next one. I'll be live tomorrow morning with a gorgeous woman who has done my course. Over the weekend, I'm just going to be on Instagram Live, and we'll share the post to LinkedIn and Facebook. We'll jump back live on LinkedIn and Facebook on Monday. Thank you so much. Thank you, King, behind the scenes, my wonderful VA. And yeah, have a great weekend. Bye.